So let's go down to the water, and Richard Parslow, greetings. What are the conditions like?
Hi PJ, fantastic weather out here today. Probably 8 to 10 knots with occasional gusts of about 12. Bright sunshine, blue skies, wonderful weather for racing.
And based on what you can see, will we have it all crowded up at the committee boat end of the line again?
Well, it depends. I mean, the boards seem to... They'll be going for pressure more than wind direction. The pressure much more important. You get about 2 knots more wind and you go about 3 or 4 knots faster. So they'll be looking for the pressure rather than wind shifts as such, PJ.
All right, well, it's going to be interesting to see how they line up, because Sofia Klepaka, who's the current ISAF World ranking of number 3, but she won the Volvo Youth Sailing ISAF World Championships 4 times in succession from 2001 to 2004, and she finished in the top 5 of all but one of the major ISAF graded events sailed this year. Barbara Kendall, she is just outstanding. 3 Olympic medals to her credit, 4 Olympic Games, and 3 World Championships also in windsurfing. So it's going to be a fascinating clash, isn't it?
Yeah, Sophia's got a pretty handy points lead. She'd have to make a real error in this race to lose the gold medal. And Barbara Kendall's actually fairly safe in the silver position. There's going to be a bit of a fight for the bronze medal though between Marina Alabal, the Spanish girl, and Jessica Crisp from Australia. Lining up for the start now, coming up to 1 minute to the start. They seem to be spread fairly evenly along the line, PJ, so they're not crowding the boat end as we've seen in some of the other fleets. Most important thing for these boards is to get some clear air out of the start rather than actual position on the line.
All right, let's just have a look quickly at 1 minute to go exactly where the course is related to Cascais. And we go out with Virtual Eye, and we're going right out onto the course now, out from Cascais, and just out off the breakwater area, we can see that the top 10 in the women's RSX medal race. All right, Richard, it looks pretty crowded up by the committee boat at this stage.
Yeah, they're all battling for position, battling for clear air. Got about 27 seconds now coming up for the start.
So it's Marina Alabal, ESP5. Yan Yin from China got the silver in Athens 2004. Right, we're inside 10 seconds now, getting ready for the start, down to 5. The start, RSX Women's Medal Race. And they're underway. Brilliant start by the Spaniard, Marina Alabal. She's really got into it. Barbara Kendall really doing well out at the pit end. Alessandra Cincini down to leeward of her. We're looking for TOL8. Where is Sophia? Well, Dan Slater, they're right into it here, really putting into it the kinetic energy. There's a lot of grunt required. Right, for his perspective, right down at water level, here's Richard Parslow.
Yeah, Barbara Kendall led out of the port end of the line. She's coming furthest left on the course now, just over the top of Alessandra Cincini. Nobody's tacked yet as far as I can make out. They're all coming out towards this left-hand side of the course.
Richard, can you pick out where Sophia is? Klepaka, the overall leader.
Yeah, she seems to be a little bit buried at the moment. She's back in the pack.
So it's Barbara Kendall, NZL15 out to the left. ITA 25 is Alessandra Cincini, 2 of the great performers on the world circuit of windsurfing for over the last decade.
Yeah, Sophia's come right out to the left-hand side here. Right out to the left, she's most extreme left. Just tacking now, she's going back on port, going back across to the right-hand side of the course here, PJ.
All right,
looks like she's...
We can see that now as we get a nice wide shot and get a handle on all of the competitors. And here is Sophia now. Boy, she's really getting into it. Got plenty of leverage, just 21. There's a lot of physical exertion going into that dance later. Whoa. Means they just bounce and skim across the wave top.
Definitely looks like there's more wind on the right this second, PJ.
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
More wind on the right.
Oh, there's a fantastic race going on. It looks like Barbara Kendall ends at L15 and Marina Alabar from Spain, here's P5. They have hit the plane, as Dan Slater's telling us about it. And it looked like Alessandra Cincini was being stuck there and not quite on the plane, as Dan emphasised. They're gone 3 knots quicker. Yes, that's a key point, because remember, this medal race here out of Cascais in Portugal for the RSX women medal race is double points, in contrast to all the other races to qualify to get the top 10 are all in single points. Let's get back down to the water of his perspective. Here's Richard.
Yeah, the fleet's really spread out now, PJ. The differences in speed are just so phenomenal. With the wind being this patchy, there's a difference of at least 5 knots between the gusts and the lulls. And the girls who sailed most in the gusts have pulled out a huge lead on the rest of the fleet. The wind's fairly stable in direction, but it's very patchy, and if they can stay in the pressure, then they're going to be flying while the others are wallowing slightly.
Try and bring them back round.
Right, so there, oh,
Back out there.
there's Sophia. Oh dear, Sophia Klepaka's got into trouble. She's come off a board. Now, she's up going now, but that could cost her time. It cost her at least 10 seconds as she seemed to get stalled, almost get into irons going through the tag and then falling off the boards. Not the ideal technique. Meanwhile, in the background, we can see here's P5. That's Marina Alabar. She's gone. Barbara Kendall also going off in a different direction. Righto, Richard, let's get back to you now.
Yeah, that was a terrible mistake by Sophia. I don't know if the pressure got to her or what happened, but she definitely stalled in the middle of the tag, dropped the rig, and then fell off the board. Took her ages to get it going again, water starting. Right out on the left-hand side of the course is Alessandra Cincini, one of the most experienced sailors in the fleet, and she's working the board up, trying to get it back up onto the plane to get back across the fleet.
Alessandra Cincini, as Richard said, experience. Well, she's won 3 Olympic medals on the trot, including she is the current Olympic medalist in the windsurfing event, although that was in the Mistral class, because these RSX are new in this Olympic cycle. Right now, here comes the overall leader coming into this medal race. This is Sophia Klepaka. But
well
she has given some of the, well down, yes, she's given the others a head start. And as Dan Slater made the point, Barbara Kendall's got to go for a life. Here she is. Barbara looks to be right up in the van of the fleet, maybe with Marina Alabar. We'll see that. The key point for Barbara is to try and get out, win it if she can, and have 5 places. And Sophia's not helping her cause by coming off the board. absolutely competitors between them, as Barbara Kendall's looking good at the moment, but it's not just about looking good. You need other competitors and rivals between them. Coming back to Barbara Kendall, look at the difference between her and Sevilla, because boy, Barbara Kendall's setting the hot pace and she has got a few competitors right behind her. We noticed that there was Romney Kinsey from Germany, most definitely Marina Alabar from Spain, are not too far behind this brilliant sailor from New Zealand. 4 Olympics so far, going for a 5th, 3 Olympic medals, 3 world championships. The roll call of honour just goes on and on for this stunning competitor. In the background, ITA 25, that is Alessandra Cincini. Again, 3 Olympic medals to her. There's such incredible experience in this fleet. Jessica Crisp has done so well also. There's Romney Kinsey right behind Barbara Kendall. So that's Germany 61. Another very good sailor to keep out here is Yang Yin from China, who's been a top performer in the later conditions. So Barbara Kendall setting the pace. Righto, Richard, what do you reckon the breeze is down the where you are?
Oh, it's really patchy. In the gusts it's over 10 knots, and in the lulls it's less than 7. Here comes Barbara Kendall approaching the windward mark. If she wins this race and Sophia is 7th or worse, then Barbara Kendall takes the gold medal. She's overcome a massive points deficit coming into this race. Rounding the windward mark, getting around, kicking the board up. Very slow jibe, trying to get back into the wind. Very light at this windward mark.
So Barbara Kendall's gone off. Now we've got the others coming up, and second round it is going to be France. It is Charlene Picon. So she's right there, and then comes Germany. So that is Romney Kinsey next, and then comes the Spaniard we've been talking about, Marina Alabar, and there goes Jessica Crisp from Australia. So we've got Spain, Australia. I reckon China's going to be coming around any moment. Really, what I'm leading up to, Richard, is I can't see Sophia yet. So the number between Barbara and Sophia, boy oh boy, it could be happening. Here comes China. We're right. It is Italy. It is China.
Yeah, Sophia's definitely last at the moment, PJ. Definitely in
really?
last position.
Wow, now there's Alessandra Cincini, one of the great windsurfers and women's windsurfing in the world. Who's that going on the outside? I can't quite see that.
That's the Ukrainian.
Yeah, from Ukraine, is it? Okay, we'll come back to you in a minute, Richard.
Sophia only just going around the mark now, PJ, and Barbara Kendall's about halfway down the run.
Well, at this stage, it is Barbara Kendall's World Championship. If she's last, she's struggling, isn't she? She looks rattled, trying to get her act together. The others have taken off, and Sophia looks like she's got an anchor out, just struggling to get into it. Right, we come back to the head of the fleet. This is Barbara Kendall. Hold these positions, and Barbara Kendall will win yet another World Championship.
There's a lot more wind around the edges. A lot more wind around the edges of the course, and these boards are going all the way up to the right-hand side of the run.
Right, that's Flavia Targhini, number 1 on the sail. There's 2 brilliant Italians here, not only Alessandra Cincini, but Flavia as well. Now look, the current situation of the race stop right now, Barbara Kendall would be first, Marina Alabar would be second, and Jessica Crisp, Australia, would be third overall. But as we've seen in the pulsating action over the last few days, it changes. Right, to tell us about that hole of the course and what's happening, Richard.
Yeah, definitely very light in the middle. I don't think Sophia can actually lose the bronze medal even if she's in last place, but she can definitely lose that gold medal. Light in the middle, windy around the edges. Most of the fleet has come out to the right-hand side of the run, and now they're going back towards the gate on port jibe. Flying downwind now. If they get the gust, they're going about 5, maybe 6 knots faster than the girls who aren't in the gusts. And it looked like Sophia came around that windward mark and then wanted to go a different way. Obviously, she's got a lot of distance to catch up. She's not going to be able to sail around the other boards if she goes the same way, so she went a different way. Let's see if she can manage to get out of last place by the time she gets down here to the gate. And it's Flavia Tattaglini, it's taken the lead. Flavia Tattaglini has taken the lead at this leeward mark.
Righto, Richard, call it around the gate for us, please.
It's Italy 1, Flavia Tattaglini, who's leading. She's going back out to the left-hand side as we look upwind. In second place is the Australian Jessica Crisp, taking the same gate marker, and she's going to be going out to the left-hand side of the beat as well. The whole race is turned inside out. I can't see Barbara Kendall at all.
So now we've got Poland. Sophia's coming round. Sophia's got right up there. Is she third, fourth or fifth?
That's it. She's around 4th place. She came around that windward mark and jibed straight away. Although she was very soft when she came around the mark, she must have had better pressure out down the left-hand side of the run, and most of the fleet went right. And here comes Barbara Kendall now, just going through the gate. She's 7th or 8th.
Dear oh dear, from 1st to 7th or 8th. Meanwhile, Sophia was dead last, stone motherless last, and she's gone round 4th. What do we make of it, Dan? Incredible. And when you're talking pressure, Dan Slater, you're actually meaning pressure, the strength of the wind, rather than pressure of emotion. So Germany, that's Romney Kinsey. Germany is 61. Spain just out to the left. Marina Alabau, this is the leading group here. So you have Marina Alabau from Spain, Charlene Picon from France, and Poland, can you believe it? Sofia Klepaka, who was dead last at the top mark, is now on the leading pack with Romney Kinsey from Germany and Marina Alabau of Spain. What a brilliant, brilliant recovery. Magnificent. So there they are. It's Poland, Spain, and France.
They've shortened the course up a little bit, PJ. They moved that top mark in a little bit. There's unbelievably wide tacking angles that we just seen the most normal sailboats tack through about 90 degrees. These boards are tacking through about 120 sometimes. Yeah, it's really technical. It's a really technical little class, and the decisions whether to go centreboard down or centreboard up, feeling the wind in the rig, very difficult, very tricky for these girls, especially when the wind's so patchy.
And also not only technical, but the mind games, the maritime game of chess going on, where they position themselves, the tactics, and we can see how physical it is, even with the breeze up. That's tough, physical, hard work. And when they've got to use the kinetic energy to get going, that is just back-breaking stuff. All right, well, they are getting close to the top mark here. And this has been a stunning recovery by Sofia Klepaka, who led as number one going into this medal race for the RSX women. And here's Barbara Kendall. Yep.
They've had the message hammered home to get out to the right to get to the slightly better pressure, and that seems to have gained again on this beat, PJ. Slight advantage to the right hand side of the beat, a little bit more wind, better pressure, maybe a slightly better direction as well.
Right around the top is Flavia leading, and we can see, my goodness, we can see New Zealand in there, Jessica Crisp, and it does seem as though Barbara Kendall has really made an incredible cut. Well, can you believe it? Poland out to the left, Sofia Klepaka and Barbara Kendall out to the right. These are the two, number one and two, Poland and New Zealand, going into this medal race, although Sofia from Poland does have the cushion of those points advantage because she comes in on 19 points. Barbara Kendall is on 30, so Barbara has to win by half a dozen places. But that's been a splendid recovery by Barbara Kendall, as they're struggling now, just no puff, as Richard and Dan are talking to us about. So that's France around, the Charlene Picon, struggling to get around the top mark. And Barbara Kendall, look at that physical grunt going in from Barbara, making it happen. How frustrating, really going up so quickly, and then all of a sudden this, where's the energy coming from to be able to get round the mark? And once she gets round the mark, change direction, here she goes. It was interesting to note, Richard, that two or three of the competitors went high above the mark and have just whistled past Barbara. How frustrating.
Oh yeah, it was extraordinary though. She was on the ley line, making it look perfectly safe making it, and the wind just went really light on her, and as Dan pointed out, the tide's quite strong in here, and it just whipped her down a little bit. She pumped to try to make it round, eventually realised she wasn't going to make it, she was going to have to tack, and had to put a tack in, low speed, no wind, horrible. Even though they're allowed to touch the marks in the boards, they're allowed to touch the marks, but it's still slow to drag up, pull yourself round in the way she had to.
Okay, down to the bottom, please. Down to the bottom. You're going to the slalom gate.
Barbara's out to the left, there's the German competitor, Romney Kinsey, and out to the right, that is Sofia. She's off. This is Sofia Klepaka on her way to the World Championship here, RSX for women. Brilliant recovery. She's from fire. Well, she's hit the plane now and she's off. And Sofia is flying on her way to a World Championship. She has won World Championships in the past. That's for the Volvo Youth Sailing ISAF World Championship. She won it 4 times in succession. Brilliant performance. But here she's lined up to become the new World Champion in the RSX boards. The current champion is Alessandra Cincini.
Yeah, they come down this end of this run, and they'll do a little slalom course before they hit the finish.
Well, this has been a clash of the young, the ambitious and the experienced, with brilliant sailors like Barbara Kendall, Alessandra Cincini and Jessica Chris, with wonderful CVs and outstanding experience over a long period. But enter the wide-eyed, talented young sailors led by Sophia Klepaka. It's all very well winning at the world youth level, but to come into the big time and play with the big girls and beat them, that's something else. And that is what Sophia Klepaka is about to do. What a brilliant recovery, Dan Slater. Absolutely incredible.
Maybe go back a little bit. Slightly go back.
Winding it up, that's Jessica Crisp. And she has been outstanding for Australia for a long period, with a wonderful record as well. And Jessica looks to be lined up, but the focus, the spotlight goes on this brilliant sailor from Poland, Sophia Klepaka. Brilliant.
From last place at the first mark. From last place at the first mark, she's now leading.
This could, for Jessica, this could actually put her into the bronze medal. We're not sure where the rest of the field are, but Jessica could slide into the bronze medal at this stage.
And Barbara Kendall looks like she's going to hold on for silver, but at the head of the fleet, it is about the gold medal at the RSX Women Medal Race at the 2007 ISAF Sailing World Championships here on the second last day of competition out of Cascais in Portugal. This really has been a stunning recovery. Here was Sophia Klepaka from Poland, who went into this medal race as number one and with a comfortable points advantage over Barbara Kendall. And then with Marina Alabar of Spain third and Jessica Crisp Australia fourth. But who would have believed that the Sophia was last, and a distant last, after falling off a board on the first leg. But she recovered, and going away from the top mark for the first time, it looked like she had an anchor out. At the moment, anything but. This really is playing on confidence. Absolutely outstanding. From the Ukraine, Mazalevich. Behind her, it's Marina Alabar from Spain.
PJ Marina being behind that far back, that's going to definitely give Jessica the bronze medal. It was whoever beat who today in this race for Jessica and Marina, and Jessica's gone through and will go through in second place, and here's Marina sailing around the course, and she's probably in fourth or fifth place, I'm not sure yet.
So the slalom continues. There's Jessica about to change direction as she is tracking Sophia Klepaka, who's already changed direction and tacked. Set against the wonderful city and setting of Cascais in Portugal, overlooking the Bay of Cascais, a magnificent area for sailing. And now heading towards the finish. There have been some wonderful stories here at this 2007 ISAF Sailing World Championships. In all of the medal races, there's been some pulsating action, and this is a story. Someone with so much talent, so much potential, now turning it into reality to win her first World Championship in open senior competition. The mark with finish on it, coming down to the line, the new world champion in the RSX Women Medal. It's Sophia Klepaka from Poland. Brilliant, brilliant. What a recovery. Last at the top mark, and to recover from that, to stay cool when her world was collapsing about her, one falling off the board, two so far behind. Meanwhile, Barbara Kendall in ZL15 is still on track for silver. She's won 3 world championships in the past, 3 Olympic medals. It is remarkable. what she's done. And the celebrations now for Sofia. What a performance.
Third place, Flavia Tartaglini.
So Flavia Tartaglini is coming down third, behind Jessica. This is in the women's medal race.
Alessandra Sensini out of the medals.
Alessandra
Where is
Sensini.
Barbara Kendall? Where is Barbara?
Going across the line, that's France, Chalon Picon. Now comes Spain, Marina Alabal.
This is Barbara Kendall coming in next.
This could be serious for Barbara Kendall. She may slip a place or two. Here comes Barbara Kendall now. She's ahead of the Chinese sailor, Yan Yin. So we'll have to get this all totaled up.
Well, PJ, I think what you'll find here, Barbara, she's got to hopefully not too far behind Jessica Crisp, who crossed the line in second, and Jessica could slide herself into a silver medal here from fourth going into the race.
Yeah, I think Barbara's down in ninth place actually, PJ. I think she's ninth.
What with the Chinese, the only China behind Barbara, is that it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. There may be one more,
Well, it's going to be tight. But meanwhile, around the star Polish sailor, Sofia Klepacka, and her